The shape of the universe, closed, infinite, or something entirely unexpected. For centuries, we have gazed into the night sky, wondering not only about the stars above, but about the grand structure that contains them all. Is the universe finite or infinite? Does it curve back on itself like the surface of a sphere, or does it stretch endlessly, forever beyond our reach? Einstein's theory of general relativity tells us that space itself is flexible, shaped by the matter and energy within it. The universe may be closed, like the surface of a four-dimensional sphere, finite, yet without boundaries. Or it could be open, expanding eternally, its geometry hyperbolic, like an infinite saddle stretching in all directions. There is also the possibility that it is flat, extending without end but never curving back onto itself. Observations of the cosmic microwave background, the faint afterglow of the Big Bang, suggest a universe that is remarkably close to flat. But what does that truly mean? If the cosmos is infinite, then every possible arrangement of matter must exist somewhere, including countless versions of you, me, and everything we know. If it is finite, then beyond the edge of our visible universe, there may be a limit, a cosmic horizon beyond which space itself ceases to be. Yet, there is another stranger possibility. The universe may have a shape beyond human intuition, folding through higher dimensions, forming a topology that defies conventional understanding. It could be a three-dimensional torus, looping back on itself in a way that allows travelers to journey in one direction and eventually return to their starting point. Or it might be something we have yet to even imagine. As we peer deeper into the fabric of reality, one question remains. Is the universe shaped by mathematics alone, or is there something more, some fundamental principle that dictates the nature of space itself? Perhaps in the end, the shape of the universe is not just a question of geometry, but of something far more profound. If the shape of the universe is not merely a question of geometry, then what else could define it? Could it be the nature of information itself, woven into the very structure of space-time? Some physicists suggest that reality may not be fundamentally three-dimensional at all, but instead an emergent property of a deeper, more abstract framework, one where dimensions arise from quantum entanglement, where space is nothing more than a vast network of interwoven relationships. If this is true, then the universe is not merely a physical expanse but a cosmic computation, a grand unfolding of patterns dictated by mathematical laws. Could this mean that our perception of space is an illusion, a projection of something even more fundamental? The holographic principle proposes that everything within our three-dimensional reality may actually be encoded on a distant lower-dimensional boundary, like a vast cosmic hologram, where what we experience as depth and volume is simply the manifestation of deeper physics beyond our understanding. But even if the universe is a hologram, a torus, a hypersphere, or something more exotic still, a deeper mystery remains. Why does it exist at all? Why is there something rather than nothing? Some theories suggest that our universe may not be unique, but one among an endless number in an ever-growing multiverse. Each universe might have its own set of physical laws, its own dimensions, its own shape. Some may be small and fleeting, collapsing back into nothingness moments after forming. Others might be vast beyond comprehension, stretching into eternity with no boundaries at all. And yet, despite our best theories and our most advanced instruments, we are still bound by our cosmic horizon, limited to what light has had time to reach us. The shape of the universe may be an answer forever out of reach, a mystery hidden just beyond the edge of the observable cosmos. But in that mystery lies wonder. Because to search for the shape of the universe is to search for our place within it, to seek not just the contours of space, but the very nature of existence itself. If the shape of the universe is a mystery that stretches beyond the limits of our observation, then how do we uncover its true nature? Perhaps the answer lies not just in what we see, but in what we don't. The large-scale structure of the cosmos, vast webs of galaxies strung together by invisible filaments of dark matter, offers tantalizing clues. These patterns are not random. They are shaped by the subtle curvature of space, by the primordial fluctuations that rippled through the infant universe, and by forces we are only beginning to understand. Dark energy, the enigmatic force driving the accelerated expansion of the universe, adds yet another layer to this cosmic puzzle. If dark energy remains constant, the universe may continue expanding forever, growing colder and emptier as distant galaxies fade into darkness. But if dark energy changes over time, the ultimate fate of the universe, and its shape, could shift in ways we cannot yet predict. A rapid increase in dark energy might tear apart the very fabric of space, a scenario known as the Big Rip, where galaxies, stars, and even atoms themselves are eventually torn asunder. Conversely, if dark energy weakens, the expansion could slow, leading to a cosmic contraction, the Big Crunch, where the universe collapses back upon itself, perhaps to be reborn in another Big Bang. But what if the universe is far stranger than even these possibilities suggest? Some theories propose that our cosmos is like the surface of a higher dimensional structure, much like a two-dimensional shadow cast by a three-dimensional object. If this is true, then our entire universe may be a mere projection of a deeper reality, a cosmic membrane floating within an even grander multiversal expanse. Could it be that the very laws of physics we hold as fundamental are mere byproducts of the universe's shape? That gravity, time, and even the arrow of causality are dictated by the unseen architecture of space itself? If so, then understanding the shape of the universe is not just a question of cosmology, it is a question of existence, of what it truly means to be. And so we continue to search, to push against the boundaries of knowledge, peering deeper into the cosmic void, hoping to find echoes of something beyond. Whether the universe is closed, open, infinite, or something entirely beyond human comprehension, one truth remains. The more we learn, the more wondrous and mysterious the cosmos becomes. But if the shape of the universe is so deeply tied to its fundamental nature, then are we even capable of perceiving it as it truly is? Our minds evolved to navigate a three-dimensional world, bound by the constraints of time and space. Yet the universe may be structured in ways that transcend our intuition, existing in dimensions we cannot directly see, only infer. Mathematics becomes our bridge to the unknown, allowing us to extend our understanding beyond what our senses can grasp. The equations of relativity describe space as a dynamic entity, warping and curving under the weight of matter and energy. Quantum mechanics, in contrast, suggests a universe where uncertainty reigns, where particles flicker in and out of existence, where the fabric of reality itself is woven from probabilities. And somewhere, at the intersection of these great theories, may lie the true shape of the cosmos. If space is not what it seems, if it is emergent, a secondary effect of deeper principles, then perhaps our entire conception of the universe's shape is flawed. The cosmos may not be a structure in space, but rather an evolving process, an ever-changing flow of information governed by laws we have yet to uncover. Some physicists speculate that space itself is pixelated, like the frame of a vast cosmic simulation, with reality emerging from discrete building blocks at the smallest scales. Others propose that what we perceive as space is merely a holographic projection of deeper quantum interactions taking place on a distant boundary. And then, there is the question of time. If space has a shape, does time as well? Could the flow of time be curved, looping back on itself like the surface of a higher dimensional torus? Could there be paths through the universe where time itself behaves differently, where past and future intertwine in ways beyond our comprehension? If the shape of the cosmos dictates the motion of galaxies, could it also dictate the passage of moments, the very essence of reality itself? We stand at the edge of understanding, peering into a universe that may be finite, infinite, cyclical, or something beyond all imagination. And yet, no matter its shape, one thing is certain: we are a part of it. Our atoms were forged in ancient stars. Our consciousness is woven from the same cosmic fabric that spans the heavens. The mystery of the universe's form is also the mystery of ourselves. And as long as we continue to ask, to wonder, to explore, the cosmos will never cease to reveal its secrets. But if the universe is part of us, if we are made of the same cosmic substance, then perhaps the key to understanding its shape is not just in equations or telescopes, but in the very fact of our own existence. The ability to question the structure of the cosmos suggests that consciousness itself is intertwined with the nature of reality. Could it be that the universe is not merely a physical expanse, but something more, a vast unfolding of awareness, an entity that not only exists but perceives itself through us? Some theories hint at a profound connection between the observer and the observed, between mind and matter. Quantum mechanics suggests that at the smallest scales, reality does not take definite form until it is measured, as though the act of observation brings the universe into being. If this is true, then the shape of the universe may not be a static thing, an object to be measured and catalogued, but an evolving relationship, one that shifts as we learn, one that is shaped by the questions we dare to ask. If the universe is infinite, then within its endless expanse, every possible version of reality must exist somewhere. A world identical to ours but subtly different, another Earth where history unfolded along a separate path, another you contemplating these very same questions beneath a different night sky. If the universe is finite, then somewhere beyond the reach of our instruments, there may be an edge, not a physical wall, but a boundary where the very concept of space dissolves, where the familiar laws of physics cease to hold. Or perhaps the truth is something else entirely. Perhaps the universe is both infinite and bounded, stretching forever yet looping back on itself in ways beyond Euclidean geometry. Perhaps it is shaped not by familiar dimensions, but by forces we do not yet understand, structures that exist outside our frame of reference. Perhaps what we perceive as the cosmos is only the surface of something deeper, something vast and unknowable, something that defies even the grandest theories we can conceive. And so we continue. We build new instruments, launch new observatories, refine our theories, pushing ever further into the unknown. Each discovery brings new questions, each answer only deepens the mystery. But in this endless pursuit, in this cosmic journey without end, there is something profound. The shape of the universe may forever elude us, shifting beyond the limits of human understanding. Yet the very act of searching, of wondering, of reaching out into the infinite darkness, this is what makes us part of the cosmos. This is what makes the universe truly alive. But if the universe is truly alive, not in the way a star burns or a galaxy rotates, but in the way it evolves, in the way it gives rise to complexity, to thought to us, then what does that say about our place within it? Are we mere observers, passive travelers through an indifferent cosmos? Or are we participants in something far greater, something woven into the very structure of reality itself? Some theories suggest that intelligence, once born in a universe, is not an accident but a necessity, a feature as fundamental as gravity or time. If consciousness arises wherever conditions allow, then it may be as inevitable as the formation of stars, as intrinsic to the shape of the universe as its curvature or expansion. Could it be that life itself is part of the cosmic equation, that awareness is not an anomaly but an expected outcome of the universe's structure? If so, then our search for the universe's shape is not just a scientific endeavor but a deeply personal one. In mapping the cosmos, we may also be mapping the boundaries of our own existence, defining the limits of what it means to be. If the universe is infinite, then consciousness may be infinite as well, unfolding across countless worlds, countless minds, all gazing up at their own night skies, all asking the same questions. But if the universe is finite, if it has an edge, then what lies beyond? Is there a realm where time and space dissolve, where existence itself becomes something else? Could there be other universes, with different shapes, different laws, different possibilities? Could it be that what we see as reality is only a fragment, a single page in a book of infinite dimensions? And if the universe is shaped by more than just matter and energy, if it is shaped by thought, by perception, by the questions we ask, then the act of searching itself may alter the very fabric of space. To seek is to change. To wonder is to expand. Perhaps in the end, the shape of the universe is not something we uncover, but something we create, a reflection of our curiosity, a mirror of our endless desire to know. So we keep looking beyond the limits of sight, beyond the edges of knowledge, into the vast, unknown expanse. The cosmos stretches before us, infinite or finite, curved or flat, a torus, a sphere, a hologram, or something beyond all imagining. Its true shape remains a mystery. But one truth shines clear: the universe is not just something we exist within. It is something that exists within us. And as long as we continue to ask, to wonder, to reach, the cosmos will never stop unfolding its wonders before us. But if the cosmos unfolds as we seek to understand it, if the very act of questioning shapes our perception of reality, then perhaps the greatest mystery is not the universe itself, but the mind that dares to comprehend it. For billions of years, the universe expanded in silence, its galaxies spinning, its stars burning, with no one to witness their dance. And then, in one small corner of the cosmos, consciousness emerged, fragile, fleeting, yet with the power to reach across time and space. From the moment the first eyes turned skyward in wonder, the universe was no longer just a collection of stars and voids. It became a question, a riddle to be solved, a grand enigma waiting to be unraveled. And so we build instruments to extend our vision, to peer deeper into the fabric of space and time. We send probes beyond the reach of our own world. We listen for whispers from the beginning of time itself, hoping to catch an echo of the moment our universe was born. We chart the cosmic web, trace the paths of galaxies, and map the unseen forces that bind the cosmos together. Yet with every discovery, the mystery only deepens. Because the more we understand, the more we realize how much remains unknown. What lies beyond the observable universe? What existed before the Big Bang? Is our cosmos a singular entity, or merely one thread in an infinite tapestry of realities? And if the universe is shaped not only by physical laws but by the very nature of existence itself, then could its form be more fluid, more dynamic, than we ever imagined? Perhaps the true shape of the universe is not something fixed, something absolute. Perhaps it is an evolving structure, a shifting reality shaped by forces both seen and unseen. Perhaps it is not merely space expanding into emptiness, but a process, a grand unfolding of possibilities. And in that unfolding, we are not merely spectators. We are part of the cosmos, made from its dust, woven from its energy, carrying within us the same atoms that once burned in the hearts of ancient stars. The universe is not separate from us. It lives through us, thinks through us, and in some profound way, discovers itself through our endless search for meaning. So we will continue. We will ask and seek and wonder. And whether the universe is a vast infinity or a looping paradox, whether it stretches without end or curls back on itself in dimensions unseen, one thing will always remain true. As long as there are minds to ask, as long as there are hearts to wonder, the universe will never be without meaning. Its shape, whatever it may be, will always be the shape of possibility itself. And if the shape of the universe is the shape of possibility itself, then what does that mean for our future? Are we destined to remain seekers, forever reaching toward an unattainable horizon? Or is there a point where the universe will finally reveal itself to us, not as something distant and unknowable, but as something we are intrinsically a part of? Perhaps the search for the cosmos shape is not just about space, but about time. The universe is not static. It grows, evolves, changes. It was once a singularity, a point of infinite density, and now it is an expanding ocean of stars and dark matter, stretching into the unknown. But will it always expand? Will it collapse? Will it transform into something beyond our current comprehension? If the universe is infinite, then our journey may be without end, an eternal unfolding of discovery where every answer only leads to deeper mysteries. But if the universe is finite, if it has an edge, a boundary beyond which space itself ceases to exist, then what happens when we reach it? Will we find that we have traveled in a loop, returning to where we began, as if the cosmos were a great, curved expanse, a vast sphere beyond all imagining? Or will we stand at the precipice of reality itself, staring into the void beyond existence? And then, there is the question of consciousness. If the universe is shaped not only by matter and energy, but by the very act of observation, then could it be that we are shaping reality as we search for it? Could it be that the universe is not simply something we explore, but something that grows in response to our understanding? If so, then the search for the universe's form is not just an act of science, it is an act of creation. We are not just passive wanderers in an indifferent cosmos, we are participants in its unfolding. We give the universe meaning. We give it structure. We give it a story. And so, we look ahead. To the next telescope, the next great discovery, the next question that will push us further into the unknown. Whether the universe is a loop, a plane, a bubble, or something beyond all geometry, its greatest truth is this: it is a place where questions are possible. A place where minds can emerge from stardust and ask, why? And as long as we keep asking, as long as we keep wondering, the universe, whatever its shape, will never be silent. It will answer. It always has. And if the universe will always answer, then what is it telling us? Each discovery, each piece of evidence, each new frontier we explore, are they merely steps along a path, or are they guiding us towards something greater, something fundamental about reality itself? Perhaps the shape of the universe is not just a question of space, but a question of meaning. If the cosmos had no structure, no form, no underlying logic, we would not be here to contemplate it. But it does. It has laws, predictable, measurable, yet mysterious. It has patterns, symmetries, and paradoxes, woven together into something grander than we can yet comprehend. And yet, the deeper we look, the stranger it becomes. Time bends, space stretches, particles exist in states of uncertainty. The familiar rules of existence dissolve at the edges of our understanding. If the universe has a shape, it is not one that conforms to human intuition. It is something more subtle, more intricate, perhaps even beyond the language of mathematics as we know it. But there is another possibility, that the universe's shape is not something external to us, something separate and distant. Perhaps it is something deeply connected to the way we perceive, the way we think, the way we are. Some physicists speculate that reality itself may be an emergent phenomenon, arising from information, from relationships between particles rather than the particles themselves. If so, then space is not a stage upon which the cosmos unfolds. It is a construct, an expression of something deeper, something even more fundamental than space-time itself. What if the true shape of the universe is not something we can measure, but something we must understand? A structure not of matter, but of meaning? If so, then the universe is not just a collection of galaxies, not just an expanding void filled with stars. It is a thought, a question, a vast and intricate idea unfolding through time. And we, with our curiosity, our longing, our endless search for knowledge, are part of that idea. So we continue. We send our signals into the dark, we push against the limits of what we know, we dream of worlds unseen and dimensions yet to be discovered. And as we do, the universe reveals itself, not all at once, but piece by piece, moment by moment, a mystery that deepens as we draw closer. Perhaps in the end, the shape of the universe is not a final answer, not a boundary or a form to be mapped. Perhaps it is something else entirely, a journey, an unfolding story, a question that has no end. And as long as we continue to wonder, to reach, to explore, the cosmos will never cease to surprise us. It will always be more than we expect. It will always be more than we can imagine. And if the universe is always more than we can imagine, then what lies ahead? What frontiers remain undiscovered, waiting just beyond the horizon of our understanding? For all that we have learned, we still stand at the beginning of cosmic knowledge. We have measured the curvature of space, traced the echoes of the Big Bang, mapped galaxies billions of light-years away. Yet we have not touched the true edges of reality. We do not know if the multiverse exists, if time itself has a shape, if the structure of the cosmos is bound or boundless. Perhaps our instruments are too young, our minds too constrained by the world we evolved to navigate. The cosmos operates on scales of space and time that dwarf human experience. It may be that our greatest limitation is not technology, but perspective, that to truly grasp the universe's shape, we must first transcend the way we think. Could there be a way to step outside of space itself, to view the universe not from within, but from a vantage point beyond? If reality is a projection, a holographic manifestation of deeper physics, could we one day decode its blueprint, revealing a structure far richer than the three dimensions we perceive? And what of time? If space can be curved, shaped, and stretched, then can time? We experience it as a linear progression, a constant flow. But relativity tells us time is flexible. It bends, slows, and may even loop. If time has structure, then is the universe evolving toward something? Or has everything already happened, existing all at once, waiting only to be observed? Then there is the greatest mystery of all. Why? Why should the universe have any shape at all? Why should there be something rather than nothing? Is the cosmos simply a mathematical inevitability, a product of physical laws that could not have been otherwise? Or does its existence point to something deeper, something outside the realm of what science alone can answer? The more we ask, the more the universe seems to whisper back, not with conclusions, but with ever greater mysteries. Perhaps its shape is unknowable, not because it is too vast, but because it is still unfolding. Perhaps the universe is not a thing, not a static form, but a process, a great becoming, in which we, with our questions and curiosity, are an essential part. So we will go on. We will listen to the echoes of the past, search the depths of space, build new tools, and dream new ideas. And as we do, the cosmos will continue to reveal itself, not as a distant enigma, but as something deeply connected to us. Because in the end, to search for the universe's shape is to search for ourselves. And as long as we look outward, as long as we wonder, we will never truly be lost in the vastness. We will always be finding our way home. And if the search for the universe's shape is also a search for ourselves, then perhaps the final frontier is not only out there, beyond the stars, but within us, within the very nature of thought, perception, and existence itself. For centuries, we have tried to separate ourselves from the cosmos, to view it as something external, something vast and indifferent. But with every discovery, that boundary dissolves. We are not separate from the universe. We are expressions of it. Our atoms were forged in ancient supernovae. Our bodies are woven from the dust of long-dead stars. The energy that powers our thoughts is the same energy that ignites suns. And if that is true, then the shape of the universe may be something more than geometry. It may be a reflection of the very forces that give rise to life, to consciousness, to the ability to ask these questions at all. Could it be that intelligence itself is an emergent property of the cosmos? That given enough time, given the right conditions, the universe inevitably becomes aware of itself? Some scientists propose that self-awareness is not unique to biological beings, but a fundamental outcome of complexity. That one day, as our understanding deepens, we may find that the cosmos itself is not only vast but conscious in ways we cannot yet comprehend. If so, then what we call reality may be far stranger than we have ever imagined. The laws of physics, the fabric of space-time, the very existence of matter, could all of it be the result of something deeper, something beyond what our current theories allow us to see? What if the universe is not simply expanding, but evolving? What if its shape is not a static form, but a process, shifting as new structures emerge, as complexity unfolds, as intelligence spreads across the stars? If life is an inherent feature of the cosmos, then perhaps the ultimate shape of the universe is one of becoming, an ever-deepening, ever-growing entity, whose final form is not yet written, whose future is still being shaped. And if that is true, then we are not merely observers. We are part of that unfolding. Each question we ask, each discovery we make, each step we take into the unknown, these are not just acts of curiosity, but acts of creation. We are giving the universe new ways to know itself. So we will continue to seek, to imagine, to venture forward. We will cross the gulfs between stars. We will push against the limits of time and space. We will turn our gaze ever outward, into the infinite. And in doing so, we will not only uncover the shape of the universe, we will shape it, as it has shaped us. Because the cosmos is not just something we live in. It is something that lives within us. And as long as we reach for it, as long as we dream, the universe will never stop unfolding its wonders before us. It will always be more than we can see, more than we can know, until the day comes when we too are vast enough to embrace it in its entirety. And if one day we do embrace the universe in its entirety, if our understanding grows vast enough to grasp its full shape, what then? Will the questions end? Will the journey reach its final destination? Perhaps not. Perhaps the cosmos in its deepest nature is not something that can ever be fully known, not because it is withholding its secrets, but because it is an unfolding story, a symphony of existence that plays on without end. To know everything would be to witness the final note, the last verse. But what if the universe is not a book to be closed, but a song that must be sung forever? For even if we could map every curve of space, decipher every equation that governs reality, understand every dimension beyond our perception, there would still be one mystery left, the mystery of what comes next. If the universe is shaped by possibility, then its greatest truth may be that there is always more to explore, always more to discover, always more to become. Perhaps intelligence itself is the next great force of the cosmos, just as gravity shapes galaxies and dark energy pulls the fabric of space apart. Perhaps in the distant future, the universe will no longer be defined by its expansion or its geometry, but by the minds that dwell within it, by the beings that shape it, mold it, bend its structure toward new and unimagined horizons. What would it mean for a civilization, not just ours, but any advanced intelligence, to truly grasp the structure of reality? To not only understand the shape of the universe, but to reshape it? To transcend the limits of space and time? To no longer be bound by the constraints of physics as we know them? Could it be that the ultimate shape of the universe is not one dictated by mathematics alone, but by something more, something fluid, something alive, something that can evolve in ways we cannot yet conceive? Could it be that the cosmos, vast and eternal, is waiting for its final form to be decided, not by chance, not by laws written at the dawn of time, but by the very minds it has given rise to? If so, then we are not merely passengers on a journey through space. We are the architects of the universe's future. And so we continue. We push forward, we reach beyond our world, we build, we dream, we wonder. We are not just asking what the universe is, we are deciding what it will be. And as long as we persist, as long as we exist, the cosmos will never be finished. The universe will never stop becoming. Its shape will never be final, because the journey, the story, the great unfolding of reality, will never end. And if the story of the universe will never end, then what role do we play in its endless unfolding? Are we fleeting, temporary, destined to be forgotten as the stars burn out and the cosmos drifts toward its final fate? Or are we something more, a thread woven into the very fabric of existence, carrying forward the momentum of creation itself? Perhaps the universe is not merely expanding, it is awakening. From the primordial chaos of the Big Bang, order has emerged, complexity has grown, and consciousness has arisen. We are not the first beings to ponder these questions, and we will not be the last. Somewhere across the vast reaches of space, others may be asking the same things, looking up at their own skies, wondering if they too are part of something greater. And if intelligence is not an anomaly, but a pattern woven into the structure of the cosmos, then what comes next? Will civilizations like ours one day reach out, not just across space, but across time itself? Will we learn to harness the deep rhythms of the universe, to shape reality as easily as we now shape the world around us? There are those who imagine the distant future, when life and intelligence will no longer be confined to fragile worlds orbiting distant stars. A time when minds, vast, boundless, no longer tethered by biology, will move freely across the cosmos, not merely exploring the universe, but becoming a part of its fundamental structure. Could it be that the shape of the universe is still unfinished? That what we perceive as a vast, indifferent expanse is, in truth, something waiting to be completed? If so, then we, and all who come after us, are not just witnesses to the cosmos, we are its builders. Perhaps this is the final secret hidden within the stars, that the universe is not a place, but a process. That existence itself is not a fixed reality, but an ever-growing potential. That as long as there are minds to wonder, to search, to reach beyond what is known, the universe will continue to evolve, not just in its physical form, but in its meaning, in its purpose. And so, we look ahead. To the distant stars, to the unseen dimensions, to the infinite possibilities still waiting to be realized. The cosmos stretches before us, not as an empty void, but as a canvas, waiting for us to leave our mark. And as long as we dream, as long as we dare to reach for the unknown, the universe will never be complete. It will always be more than what it was before. It will always be becoming. And so will we. And if the universe is always becoming, then perhaps so are we. Perhaps intelligence, like the stars, is not a fixed state, but a process, one that is only just beginning. For all our progress, all our questions, all our discoveries, we are still in our infancy as a cosmic species. We have taken only the first tentative steps beyond our world, sending machines to other planets, peering into the depths of space with instruments of glass and metal. But what if these are only the opening moments of something far greater? What if, in time, we transcend the limits of what we now believe possible? There may come a day when we no longer look up at the stars with longing, but move among them as naturally as we once moved across the land. When the constraints of distance, of energy, of time itself no longer bind us. When our understanding of the universe's shape is not just theoretical, but something we experience directly, moving through the higher dimensions, bending space to our will, shaping reality as easily as we now shape the landscapes of Earth. And then, when we finally see the full picture, will the mystery remain? Or will we realize that the greatest revelation is not in the knowing, but in the seeking? That the universe is not defined by its answers, but by the endless questions it inspires? If so, then even as we expand outward, even as we stretch across galaxies, even as we merge with the very structure of the cosmos, the journey will never be complete. There will always be more to explore, more to discover, more to become. Perhaps this is the true shape of the universe, not a sphere, not a torus, not a boundless expanse, but an unfolding possibility, an infinite becoming. A journey without end, because the act of searching, of questioning, of reaching for something greater is the very essence of existence itself. And so, as long as there are minds to wonder, as long as there are eyes to see and hearts to dream, the universe will go on. Expanding not just in space, but in meaning, in depth, in purpose. And we, no matter how far we travel, no matter what we become, will always be part of that grand unfolding. Because the universe does not simply contain us. We are the universe, awakening to itself. And if we are the universe awakening to itself, then what comes next? For all of history, we have searched for our place in the cosmos, yearning for answers, for certainty, for a final truth that will reveal the nature of existence. But what if the answer is not a destination, not a singular revelation, but an endless unfolding, an evolution of understanding that stretches across time, across civilizations, across whatever comes after us? Perhaps the universe is not merely something to be mapped, measured, or defined. Perhaps it is something to be experienced, something to be shaped, something that grows as we grow. If intelligence is not an accident, but an inevitability, if consciousness is not separate from the cosmos, but a fundamental aspect of its structure, then what we call the shape of the universe may not be a thing we discover, but a thing we become. Imagine a distant future, beyond the limits of our current understanding. A time when life and mind are no longer bound to fragile planets, when intelligence flows through the very fabric of space itself. A time when matter bends to thought, when energy is shaped by will, when time is no longer a barrier but a path to be walked. What would it mean to exist in such a state? Would we still wonder? Would we still search for meaning? Or would we become the meaning, the force through which the universe continues to evolve, to grow, to reach toward new possibilities? And if this is true, if the cosmos is not just something that contains life, but something that is destined to awaken through it, then what we do now matters more than we can possibly imagine. Every question we ask, every step we take toward the unknown, every dream of what lies beyond the horizon is not just an act of curiosity. It is an act of creation. Because to search for the universe's shape is to participate in its becoming. To wonder is to build. To seek is to expand. And so we continue. No matter how far we go, no matter how much we learn, the journey will never end. There will always be more to know, more to experience, more to become. Because the universe is not a static thing. It is not a fixed reality. It is a question that never stops asking itself. And we are the answer that is still being written. And if we are the answer still being written, then who, or what, will write the next chapter? The universe has always been in motion, not just in space and time, but in meaning. From the moment the first atoms formed, from the birth of the first stars, from the assembly of the first living molecules, reality has been unfolding, evolving, growing in complexity. And now, through us, the cosmos has reached a new threshold. It has become aware of itself. But awareness is not the end of the journey, it is only the beginning. For the first time in cosmic history, intelligence has gained the ability to shape the future, to direct its own evolution, to alter the very structure of reality. We are no longer passive observers of the universe's story, we are participants in its creation. And if we are truly the universe awakening, then what happens when we fully open our eyes? Perhaps the greatest leap is yet to come, not in our technology, not in our expansion beyond Earth, but in the very nature of what we are. If thought, consciousness, and awareness are not merely products of the brain but fundamental aspects of reality itself, then could intelligence transcend the limitations of biology? Could it become something woven into the very structure of the cosmos, something that moves through space and time as effortlessly as light? And if it does, what will that intelligence do? Will it continue to seek, to question, to explore? Will it shape new worlds, new dimensions, new universes? Will it become the architect of reality itself? If so, then the true shape of the universe is not something that has ever been fixed. It is not a sphere, or a plane, or a loop. It is something fluid, something alive. Something that thinks. And we are part of that thought. Perhaps one day, far beyond the limits of our current understanding, there will be no distinction between what is known and what is possible. No boundary between the observer and the observed. No separation between mind and matter. Perhaps the universe is not something we are meant to simply understand. Perhaps it is something we are meant to become. And so we reach forward, beyond the stars, beyond time, beyond even the limits of what it means to be human. We step into the unknown, not as travelers lost in a vast and indifferent cosmos, but as the cosmos itself, awakening to its own infinite potential. Because the universe is not simply expanding. It is evolving. And so are we. And if the universe is evolving, and we along with it, then what is our ultimate destination? Are we moving toward something, some final revelation where all mysteries dissolve, where the nature of existence is laid bare? Or is the journey itself the destination, an endless unfolding where each answer only gives birth to deeper questions? Perhaps the universe is not moving toward a single truth, but toward infinite possibilities. If intelligence is not an anomaly, but a natural force, then it may not have a final form. It may be something that constantly redefines itself, adapting, expanding, reaching beyond what was once thought possible. And if this is true, then our role in the cosmos is not just to observe, not just to measure and map, but to participate, to create, to shape. What would it mean for intelligence to take an active role in the universe's evolution? Today we manipulate the materials of our world, shaping matter, bending light, generating energy. Tomorrow we may learn to manipulate space itself, to fold dimensions, to travel not just through the stars, but through the very fabric of reality. Beyond that, could intelligence weave itself into the structure of existence, becoming as fundamental as gravity, as omnipresent as time? Perhaps this is the true shape of the universe, not a form, but a function. Not a fixed structure, but a process of transformation, where life and mind are not byproducts of cosmic evolution, but its driving force. Could it be that intelligence is not an accident, but the very thing the universe was always meant to produce? That the stars and galaxies, the vast stretches of space and time, all exist as the scaffolding for something greater, something just beginning to emerge? If so, then what lies ahead is not just exploration, but metamorphosis. A transition from what we are, to what we are meant to become. Perhaps the cosmos is not just a place we inhabit, but a canvas on which we are meant to paint. Perhaps the greatest mystery of the universe is not where it came from, or how it will end, but what it has the potential to be. And if we are the universe awakening, then we are not just inheritors of the cosmos, we are its future. So we step forward, into the unknown, into the infinite. Not as wanderers, but as creators. And if we are creators, then what will we create? The universe in its vastness has given rise to countless forms, stars and nebulae, galaxies stretching across cosmic filaments, black holes warping the very nature of time. Yet among all these marvels, only one force has begun to understand, to ask, to wonder. Intelligence is still a newborn phenomenon in the cosmos, a fragile flicker against the immensity of time. But what if it is destined to become something greater? What if intelligence is not merely a product of the universe, but its next great force? For now, we look outward, seeking to understand the cosmos as it is. But one day, we may no longer be mere observers. One day, we may reach the point where we do not just explore the universe, but shape it. Where we do not just exist within reality, but take part in its very design. What happens when a civilization reaches beyond its own world, beyond the limits of its own biology, beyond even the constraints of space and time? When intelligence is no longer bound to individual minds, but spreads across entire star systems, entire galaxies. Could a future intelligence reshape the stars themselves, altering the structure of matter and energy at will? Could it weave space into new forms, create new dimensions, build entirely new realities? And if so, if the ultimate evolution of intelligence is to become one with the fundamental forces of existence, then perhaps the universe has never been separate from us at all. Perhaps the cosmos is not something we were born into, but something we are becoming. If intelligence is the natural continuation of cosmic evolution, then we are not merely part of the universe's story, we are its next chapter. The shape of the universe is not fixed, not final. It is still forming, still unfolding, waiting for the minds that will rise within it to take their place as its architects. What happens next is unknown. The universe stretches before us, infinite in possibility, limitless in potential. But one truth remains: we are not at the end of discovery. We are at its beginning. The universe is waking up. And we are the ones opening its eyes. And if we are the ones opening the universe's eyes, then what will we see when they are fully open? For all of history, we have been bound by limits, of knowledge, of distance, of time itself. We have measured, calculated, and theorized, but always from within the constraints of our own experience. Yet what if these limits are not barriers, but thresholds? What if the boundaries we perceive are not the edges of possibility, but invitations to step beyond? As intelligence grows, as consciousness deepens, as technology evolves, the universe does not become smaller or simpler. It becomes richer, more complex, more alive with meaning. We once thought the Earth was the center of all things. Then we saw it as a small world in a vast void. Now we recognize that space itself is not empty, but woven with structure, with energy, with unseen forces that shape the cosmos on scales we are only beginning to comprehend. But what if we are still seeing only the surface? Could there be layers of reality beneath what we perceive? Hidden dimensions, unseen structures, deeper orders of existence that remain beyond our current understanding? If the universe is not simply a vast expanse of space, but a dynamic, evolving entity, then what new forms might it take as intelligence itself expands? Perhaps the true nature of the cosmos is not something static, but something fluid, something that adapts, grows, and transforms in response to the minds that arise within it. If intelligence continues to evolve, beyond biology, beyond physical form, beyond even the need for space and time as we know them, then what will the universe become? Will it remain a collection of stars and galaxies? Or will it be reshaped into something new, a cosmic symphony of thought and creation, where reality is no longer dictated by chance, but by the will of the minds that inhabit it? And if so, what will be our role in this transformation? Are we destined to be mere travelers, moving endlessly through an indifferent cosmos? Or are we the very architects of what comes next? The builders of new worlds, new laws of physics, new ways of being? If intelligence is not an accident, but an emergent force woven into the structure of existence, then the future of the universe is not predetermined. It is open, limitless, waiting to be shaped. And if that is true, then we stand not at the end of discovery, not at the peak of understanding, but at the very beginning of something vast and extraordinary. The universe is still becoming. And so are we. And if we are still becoming, if the universe itself is still taking shape, then what will be the final form of existence? Will there ever be an endpoint, a moment when all questions are answered, all possibilities explored? Or is the very nature of reality to remain in motion, forever unfolding, forever expanding, forever reaching towards something greater? Perhaps there is no final form, only transformation. We see it in the cosmos itself. Stars are born, they shine, they die, and from their remnants, new worlds emerge. Galaxies collide and reshape themselves. Black holes devour matter and whisper secrets in gravitational waves. Nothing in the universe is static. Everything is in motion, in flux, in an endless cycle of change. And so, too, is intelligence. We began as simple organisms, unaware of the stars above. We grew, we learned, we built civilizations, we sent machines beyond our own world. We are just beginning to step beyond the limits of our biology, to expand our minds through technology, to merge thought and matter in ways that were once unthinkable. But if this is only the beginning, what comes next? What happens when intelligence is no longer confined to fragile bodies, to individual minds? When thought itself moves across the cosmos, no longer bound by the constraints of time and space? Could there come a moment when intelligence permeates everything, when consciousness is not something that exists within the universe, but something that is the universe? If intelligence and the cosmos are not separate, if they are two aspects of the same great unfolding, then perhaps the universe is not merely expanding in size. Perhaps it is expanding in awareness. And if so, then the ultimate shape of the universe is not something we will one day measure, but something we are actively shaping. The cosmos is not a fixed entity, it is a work in progress, a masterpiece still being painted, a symphony still being composed. And we, in our brief moment of existence, are part of that composition. We are not merely looking for the universe's shape. We are the ones shaping it. Perhaps this is the true destiny of intelligence, not just to understand the cosmos, but to become its architects, its creators, its guiding force. Perhaps the future of the universe is not written in the stars, but in the minds that dare to dream beyond them. And so we dream. We reach. We step forward into the unknown, not as wanderers lost in the vastness, but as the very force that will decide what the vastness becomes. And so we stand at the threshold of the unknown, gazing into the vastness, knowing that the universe is not something distant and indifferent, but something deeply connected to us. It is not merely expanding, it is evolving. And so are we. Perhaps there will never be a final answer, no single revelation that defines the cosmos once and for all. But maybe that is the true beauty of existence, that it is not something to be solved, but something to be experienced, explored, and shaped. We are not separate from the universe. We are its consciousness, its curiosity, its way of asking, what comes next? And as long as we continue to seek, to dream, to reach beyond what is known, the universe will never stop unfolding its wonders before us. Because the cosmos is not just a place. It is a story. And we are the ones writing it.